When a high-level government representative starts off an answer by saying, "I'm going to say something I should never say, but I will anyway," you know it's going to be hot news. But that's what happened in mid-February with the State Secretary for Defense of the Netherlands, Gijs Tuinman, making waves by suggesting that the F-35 fighter jet could have its software altered to accept third-party software updates, circumventing involvement from the United States/American defense contractors. The suggestion came after Tuinman was asked if Europeans would be able to make changes to the jet without approval from the United States. So for today's video, let's take a look at the actual remarks and why they're making waves in political and military spheres. Given the rise in transatlantic tensions due to the current US administration's changing international policies, the purchase of American weapons, including F-35 fighter jets, has been a hot topic of discussion in the defense sphere for both Canada and Europe. It's not just about supporting the defense industry of a country that appears to no longer be a steadfast ally, but it's also become a matter of sovereignty in terms of retaining the ability to use already purchased American weapons and equipment should relations sour. Over and over and over again in the YouTube comments section, there's talk of an F-35 kill switch, a mythical hidden feature allowing the United States to disable foreign-operated jets if a country ends up on their naughty list. The consensus is, however, that no physical or electronic kill switch exists on the F-35 that would have such abilities. But while that's the official word, it's also quite true that the F-35's reliance on US-controlled software means that the country could effectively ground fleets by withholding logistical support or updates. And that's where Gijs Tuinman and his remarks come in. The Dutch State Secretary for Defense was speaking on BNR Nieuwsradio's Boekestein en de Wijk podcast, and according to a machine translation, had this to say after being asked about using the F-35 if the United States decides to stop support of the jet. "If despite everything you still want to upgrade, I'm going to say something I should never say, but I will anyway. You can jailbreak an F-35 just like an iPhone." If you're unfamiliar with the term jailbreaking, it's altering the code, typically of an operating system, to remove restrictions and security limitations imposed by manufacturers. The result is having the ability to gain deeper access into the system and customize/change how the system works. In our increasingly digitized world, more and more of our lives seem to be dependent on software updates and continued support from device makers. And yes, for militaries, that includes all sorts of systems, whether it's for communication, reconnaissance, or targeting. The F-35 is simply one of the highest-profile examples. Having held the position of State Secretary for Defense in the Netherlands since 2024, the War Zone notes that Tuinman does not appear to have offered any further details about what the jailbreaking process might entail. The website adds that virtually all F-35s in service today see software updates come through a cloud-based network, the original version of which is known as the Autonomic Logistics Information System, or ALICE.
Think of ALICE like a smartphone. It has more than 65 applications that do everything from managing operations and training to maintenance and supply chain.
With ALICE facing persistent issues, a successor is in the works in the form of the Operational Data Integrated Network, or ODIN, a transition which is still ongoing. But whether it's ALICE or ODIN, the system is meant to handle much more than just software updates and logistical data. Indeed, F-35 users will upload mission data packages to the aircraft system containing highly sensitive planning information, including details about enemy air defenses and other intelligence. Naturally, the F-35 software is complex, with sources stating that the jet's own code is about 8 million lines long. Other sources note that the entire F-35 ecosystem, including onboard, offboard, and training systems, consists of over 20 to 25 million lines of encrypted code. Thus, it's probably not as easy as jailbreaking an iPhone. Rather, our guess is that Secretary Tuinman was just trying to find a somewhat relatable analogy easily understood by the public. Our own guess is that such an act is possible but difficult and potentially dangerous to pilots. On top of this, the jets, built by American defense contractor Lockheed Martin, require thousands of parts and services, mostly acquired from the United States. As a result, it would probably be more than just software a country would need to worry about if the US were to blacklist it from F-35 operations. The story, however, is less to do with the F-35 and its software or logistics. Again, the true reason the remarks coming out of the Netherlands have gained so much interest has everything to do with sovereignty and the changing, well, largely deteriorating relationship the United States has with its close allies, many of which already operate the F-35 or have the jet on order. The fact that the talk of kill switches and jailbreaking is even taking place is just an unfortunate indication that people outside of the United States are worried about their respective countries' dependencies on American arms, and an acknowledgement that
the old order is not coming back.
Let's hope we never get to a point where we have to see an F-35 customer jailbreak the aircraft's operating system. But what are your thoughts on all of this? Are you more interested in the technical side of things with the F-35 or the geopolitical shift between the US and its allies that this discussion represents? Or perhaps both? Let us know by leaving a comment.